Xian loi gom chia kong parai song pai xin. Xian noroi kyun lai cha yin me pa tang. Xian de tai che pe gong. Ye parai xian pa ya me parai qian je lo. Ge gong jie go ворой song bai xi. Me ngai de guen jie pe la ma la. Juan do ya so wa yan de pe gong qian la. Jie me ge ke ворой qian jie la. Ye me gom jie ngü jire song bai xi. Kan shara to pe ngo wo so man de. Mai chue de karan jo pe gon chen la. Gon ja lo ya dan da wa rai chen je lo. Loi chue ge song pai xi. Chire ya ma ye chire ya cha ra wa la. Ma ga ya ro pa ra cha ra ve gon chi la. Ko ro ne ye re me to pa ra chi je lo. Ke wai kuen do yang dai la ma la. Da la me chue che pe la lo chue che. Sa lan yen te ra zo ne. Do ra je chang ke kong pa nyu ra do yo. Karma pai che no karma pai ke no. Karma pai ke no karma pai che. Karma pai che no karma pai che. Karma pai che no karma pai. Karma pai che no karma pai che no karma pai che no karma pai che. Karma pai ke no karma pai ke no karma pai ke no karma pai che no karma pai che no karma pai karma pai ke no karma pai ke no karma pai che no karma pai che no karma pai che no karma pai karma pai no karma pai ke ma pai ke no karma pai ke no karma Karma bhajeno, 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 karma bhajeno. Sangye chona tsokye chona
Chancho bando dane jazo Age juje
Lelaya
jime
senam chi Dolai
Dolo
penchiraya sangye dopa Sangye chodaya tsokye chonam la Chancho paratoya dane kyasue chi Dāki chūshē gyēpē sēnām jī Dōlāi pēnchirā sāngyē ndōpa Sāngyē chūdāya tsōgyē chōnām lā Chāngchōya pāradōya dāne kyāsue chē Dāki chūshē gyēpē sēnām jī Dōlāya pēnchirāya sāngyē ndōpa Simchen tamche dewa dang dewe gyodang dembraye dunga dang dunga ke gyodang tawaraye chuje dungala lebe dewa dangpa minda waraye churje nyere chadang nyedang tarwe tangnya chenpo nyebaraye churaye che simche tamche dewa dang dewe gyodang Dunga dunga ke judaya taware churji dungala mebe dewa mindala vare churji nyere chada nyedaya tawe tanya chenpo la nebare churwe semchen tamche dewa dan deve gyudaya dembare churji dunga dan dunga ke judan taware Dungala mebe devaya dambaya dam mindal chakdaya nyedaya talvaya tanyam chembola nebare churvay. Palde tsave lama rinpoche dagi kiwo pede den la sho kardin chimbe guni jesung kuzondo je modo tsado. Paldeya dorje changwa reke chabda lama karma pa chinga kunjen juni sije panjur ji dam dorje nanjur ma tinle kunje chepo chu chong perche chamdar la nanjur kebe tsijin dedo dalmea toje kyongwa rayenze. Good morning, everyone. Sorry. Right, so uh, as I have been saying in the past days that uh, that that I am sharing with all of you the teachings on calm abiding meditation on shamatha, and there are these two main sources, particularly regarding the calm abiding meditation, which I have mentioned many times, but I would like to mention it again as a reminder. The first, method of meditating on calm abiding is overcoming of 5 kinds of obstacles. by implementing 8 antidotes, which we brushed through. And then the second way of directly meditating on calm body meditation is through 9 meditation stages, and they are called 9 mental abiding, which I will also explain. And then the other two very important, aspect of the meditation. The very first one was how we conduct our, you know, meditation posture, the 7 Vajrasana meditation posture, which I briefly mentioned. And yesterday in the morning, I mentioned that, in Kamali Shila's meditation book called Bhavana Krama, Stages of Meditation, and actually in all the other meditation books like Moonlight, the Mahamudra also mentions that, there are prerequisites, we call it. So when we count, there are 6 of them yesterday, right? But I will just count them again, just in case if we missed something or not. From the 6 prerequisites for calm body meditation, the very first one is a suitable place. Then the second prerequisite was little desire or desiring less material things. The third, prerequisite is happy with less material things, satisfied with less material things. And the fourth is reducing mundane activities. This I actually wrote quite well. It is true, reducing mundane activities. Uh, and the fifth one is keeping pure discipline. This is about discipline, but in my note it says guarding of the doors of the senses. This actually is quite good. I would like to explain a little bit on that. The other we went through. In Vinaya, and I guess in many other, stated teachings regarding the mindfulness and meditation, this phrase is the one that is most, recited actually, or most quoted. One way of experiencing, let's say, mindfulness, or we use mindfulness for what? We use mindfulness to, conduct our, doors of the senses. So, for example, like this doors of sense are quite easy. They refer to the faculties like eye, ear, nose, tongue, and body consciousness. The way we are distracted is by seeing something, by hearing something, by tasting something, by smelling something, by feeling something, so we can know that. Buddha in Vinaya very often says to the monks and to the people that it's so very important for you to really, really, guard your, senses, doors of the senses, so that you will not experience any kind of unnecessary desire, unnecessary distraction. So door sense. In general, I think it's a very good advice for every one of us, because one of the doors of experiencing emotions are these, correct? When you see something, for example, seeing somebody could generate, resentment, attachment, anger, all kinds of emotions, happy, sad, things like that. Or hearing something can have exactly the same impact on us. It can generate, pleasant, unpleasant, which means anger, resentment, jealousy, pride, all of this. So therefore, the guarding, like Shantideva actually, the whole chapter, the 4th or 5th chapter, both are regarding this. It's very profoundly explained the importance of mindfulness. So here meaning in the Dharma, We use mindfulness not just to, you know, do away with temporary, let's say, stress. They will be gone anyways. You don't need to do much actually. But these things that are rooted in our body, in our mind, they don't go away very easily. Our karmas, emotions, all that do not go very easily away. Therefore, we need to, be mindful of that, our behavior of the body and the speech and the mind, really, because that will not only, let's say, hurt other people, but it will actually bring a lot of suffering to oneself in the first place. You will be the object of whatever harm it may bring to other. You will be the very first object of that. So that's why guarding the door of the senses, like in the Mahamudra teachings and in the Vajrayana, there is something called, okay, not something called, it's called Tsok Yul if I want to experience a pure meditation of nature of the mind, the only way to do that is to really reduce the strength, reduce the intensity of these senses and doors. When we are able to reduce them, when we are able to guard them, control them, and through that, then the actual, clarity, wisdom, insight is born. At the same time, it also means that in meditation, the reason you do not experience emotions is because you have this guard, and that guard is none other than mindfulness and awareness. I must say that mindfulness and awareness go hand in hand. That's why I'm actually saying this together. In Tibetan, we don't need to say together, but in English, I do. They go, if there is mindful present, awareness is present along with that. So they go hand in hand. And this is very much like I said before, it's, you can see the root of the all of the realization, insight that you gain, regarding your own mind, for example. So the clarity, the realization, insight, Lagtong, Mahamudra, nature of the mind, cannot be born in you if we don't have this ground at all. So it starts from there. That's how we enter the meditation, actually, so to say. We have no much time, but otherwise these teachings can be a little bit more. But that's also enough. All right, so the sixth prerequisite is having less mundane thoughts. This again, I find this for myself, I really, you know, try to remember this having mundane thoughts because all I got is mundane thoughts. And I don't really want it, but I can't help it. So therefore, I do Guru Yoga, I do this, I do that, in order to sort of uh, actually escape. I would like to believe to escape that. I suppose I sort of feel that when I'm doing some kind of yidam practice or Guru Yoga or any meditation, at least during that time, I'm not engaging in mundane thought, or at least I am engaging in mundane thought very little. However, very, very little, so to speak. um, Guru Yoga practice or Yidam practice is similar, but I'm going to say Guru Yoga here, is really very powerful from that point of view. Not because Guru is powerful, Gurus may always powerful, but in reality, it's got nothing to do with the Guru's realization, actually. It's got everything to do with how you're doing your meditation. Because that Guru is your own mind. The one that you see, the one you that experience is your own mind, correct? There's nobody there actually. So who you are actually seeing then? It is something that you give birth to through your realization, through your trust, through your devotion, through your learning experience. You give birth to that. Okay? Therefore, but there is this, let's say, outer, let's say there is the outer, individual then there's the inner experience, and there's innermost experience. Actually, it's very true, and they are somehow connected. First of all, let's say Tilopa is out there as a person, yes. But then when I do the Guru Yoga of the Tilopa, then eventually that Tilopa that I see, that I experience, is in my heart, is in my mind. He is always present within me. But that does not mean he's traveling along with me all the time, correct? Anything actually, for Yidam for that matter. Can you see what I'm saying? It's always present. As long as you don't destroy, we don't destroy, our that experience. We could, unfortunately, we really could, with these mundane thoughts, wrong views comes about just like that, emotions comes like this, and they really destroy. Every peace we have, they are the destroyer. Every joy we have, they destroy it. A little bit of experience, clarity here and there, these maras, they come and poof, poof, they just destroy it. That actually means we are weak. We don't need to be weak. So when we become strong, not physically at all, you don't need to build your body at all, okay? Or you don't need to appear very rough and tough. It's not about that. Appearing rough and tough, talking rough and tough. That means nothing actually. So here we need to make our meditation, our realization, our wisdom stronger and stronger and stronger. When that is strong in you, no Mara in this world can destroy you at all. So this goes to show that we are actually very vulnerable. We are vulnerable to our emotions, to the mundane thoughts, to everybody, even to a wind, correct? Or to the sun, to all the elements. Shantideva says, he gives this example saying that we as a human being are like newly born baby's skin. Newly born, newly born baby's skin is the most sensitive. You let's say, you let's say wrap this newly born baby in most soft cloth, but they feel it very rough actually. I like that example. He says our mind is like this, that we have no resilience, no patience at all whatsoever. So very impatient, our mind actually, correct? It's true. We really need to build that. If you really want to have something being developed in you, we need to build that. We need to make ourselves strong, correct? So learn, reflect, meditate. But most importantly, you must really trust in yourself from the Dharma point of view. You trust what you have learned, you meditate, you reflect, you have your own, that, let's say, realization and meditation. That is what you want to, focus on and rely on and deepen that more and more and more and more, and then it will really, really show you the path. The path will be shown to you from within you. No individual can hold your hand and take you somewhere at all. We know that. It's the refuge we are talking about. I said this many times. This is the true meaning of that. So, but then we know for that we need Buddha. We needed the Buddha. But just him appearing in this world is not good enough. What if Buddha came but didn't talk? We wouldn't have the Dharma, right? So that's why then we needed the Dharma, then the Sangha, all that. So they are, let's say the outer conditions, but the actual path, for me, path, refuge is same. The actual path is, so first we need, so first we need to really accumulate lots of merit, especially lots of wisdom by learning, reflecting, meditating. Okay. On top of that, then yes, bodhicitta, really the ground of that. I learn, I reflect, I meditate, I do all the practice through the body, through the speech, through the mind. But one should never forget every single of that must come from bodhicitta. Okay? Really. Then every single practice that you do becomes immense. It really, really immense, inexhaustible. From the merit point of view, it will become inexhaustible. Such is the power of bodhicitta, correct? That's why whenever people say bodhicitta, we do like this. It's actually a Buddha, a form of Nirmanakaya, Sambhogakaya, Dharmakaya. That's the bodhicitta. For you, for everybody else in us, we could call it great compassion, but great compassion, yes, in Tibet we have Nyingje Chimbo, Tsewa Nyingje Chimbo, great compassion. But great compassion is the ground for actually the bodhicitta. Some other day we'll talk on that. But nonetheless, like I've been saying before, meditation, bodhicitta, every single quality, the advanced quality that we hear about the Mahasiddhas is within us. That actually, source of that is then the Tathagata Garbha, right? The Buddha nature mind, for example. we need to know, we need to learn how to integrate every single thing you have learned, how to not just only integrate, how to integrate them together actually. So that's why the other day I was saying we really need every single thing. We need the renunciation of the Hinayana. We need the bodhicitta of the Bodhisattva yana. We need the view of the Madhyamika. Everything we need. There's nothing that you can actually really skip at all. When you understand that there is a word in term, it comes in Sutra Lankara. Sutra Lankara. Ornament for Sutra. This is one of the 5 books by Maitreya. So he says that at the end of the day, there is just one vehicle. Usually we speak of 3 vehicles, the Charvaka vehicle, Pratyeka Buddha vehicle, Bodhisattva vehicle, or we can say yana. Pratyeka Charvaka yana, Pratyeka Buddha yana, Bodhisattva yana, vehicle, same thing. But at the end of the day, there's just one path, there's just one yana actually. And this is exactly what I was saying. The renunciation, the bodhicitta, the view. It's all about that. In Vinaya, Hinayana, the focus is more on renunciation. And that's why the liberation comes about. And now let's say in the Bodhisattva yana, the focus is more on bodhicitta, correct? This is why the Sambhogakaya and Nirmanakaya is born. But not in the case of, let's say, an arhat. And then the highest view, for example. The highest view is Mahamudra, is Buddha, Buddhahood, any name you may give actually. So all of that, when we, in our heart, in our mind, when you experience them, then there is this, this. For example, let's say, what was the first one? Renunciation. When you experience renunciation, I'm not sure how you connect with this word, but that's the only word I have. From my point of view, when and if I experience renunciation, I see glimpses of bodhicitta in it, actually. I see glimpses of emptiness in it. You see what I'm saying? It's not like you first have renunciation, and then boom, okay, done, first one. And then after that, bodhicitta, done. No, it's never like this. In one sitting session of the meditation, in one single sitting of the meditation, we go through that. You have this is an experience within you. You experience that renunciation toward the samsara, toward the suffering of sentient beings. This feeling in you that nobody, really should suffer. That's called renunciation, including me. Nobody should suffer at all. Everybody should be free of suffering and pain and cause of suffering pain. That's really the mind's renunciation. Okay? And then now, can you see how it's connected with bodhicitta actually? You really have the glimpse of bodhicitta in that very moment. Now what do you think? Therefore, every sentient being must be led to the Buddhahood, because that is the only solution to bring them out of this samsara. But to do that, what do you need? You need the view. Without the view, how you're going to do that? So you need the view, the realization of the emptiness. We must therefore know that there is no dharma, there's no one single word that we should not understand, that we should not practice at all. If you did that, it'll take you a very long time just to understand the meaning of the dharma. You will be just delaying whatever you are supposed to get. But I guess these things comes with maturation, perhaps. Oh, I went too long with that. I was explaining the sixth one, is that right? Or I got carried away? I was explaining the sixth one. Okay. Right. Okie doke. Someday, please come again. Then we will go through this whole set of teachings on meditation. Okay, one sec. Right here. So now I will try to now again concerning the shine, she, ne, the two words. First one is she, second word is nepa. So calm, abiding, tranquility, abiding in tranquility, tranquility, Shiva. That itself goes to, show that how, how the realization, the achievement of calm abiding meditation feels like. That's the definition of that actually. Anyhow, now the nine in Tibetan, according to Tibetan, we call nine mental abiding. I realized that saying that saying that does not really say it is about meditation. Actually, I only figured this out one day when I was teaching this, and the translator actually was asking me, "What's that?" So it hit to me like, "Oh yeah, I must really explain. I must say these are the nine meditation stages." Because when you say nine mental stages, like, what is that nine mental stage? But because we are so used, at least I'm so used to saying in Tibetan, so just very automatically we say it. But I also saw in English they say mental abidings. Anyhow, we need to first understand what this calm abiding meditation is all about. the calm abiding shamatha meditation really is the two things in it. When we are achieving it, first, our these two kinds root dis, root distraction, the mental thinking, the mental excitement, to root enemies or obstructions are gradually reduced. Okay, first that's happened. And because they are gradually reduced, in turn, your meditation stability is improved. So that is the stability of two things: the clarity and then the concentration. So that stability, we need we need to experience concentration. We need to experience the clarity. So we are not able to do that because of the distraction. These two kinds of distraction, mainly the mental thinking and the mental excitement. So this 9 mental meditation stages tells us how through the growth of meditation and through the growth of mindfulness and awareness, how we gradually overcome these, obstacles. First, the gross ones, and then the subtle ones, and then altogether everything is removed. And in the end, then you have no longer any subtle, gross abstractions whatsoever. This is how then you get to this point, of the actual calm abiding meditation. So I'm giving you overall view because when we go through this, then you will understand it much better. All right. So now these 9 kinds of meditation stages is in Kamal Ishila's book, of course, but it is also found in Sutra Alankara, Ornament for Sutra in Maitreya's book. And then, like I said, also in Asanga's Abhidharma Samokhya. Samokhya. All right. So 9 mental abiding. This 9 mental abiding can also be integrated with this, the other aspect. It's not that they are actually different. Well, let's not just stick to this. So that first we have something, to look at. Okay, so there's the first one, there's the second one. As you meditate more and more, you on your own will find out how they blend. Of course, they blend. It's not like they don't blend. But right now, if I say this, it will, we will go haywire. So we don't want that. And also because of the time limit that we have. All right. So where the first stage of the meditation is called focusing on object of meditation one-pointedly. This is the time when we actually lack both the concentration and clarity. There is an example in the book. It says it's like bee that bee that around a flower, but it does not really. It comes, but it does not at all sit there, or even if it sits, it just flies right away. It's the example. It means when we are meditating, I have an object of meditation, which is my breath, and I try to concentrate. It says, I may probably see the object of the meditation, but I am incapable of, landing actually on the object, or I'm incapable of, abiding or remaining concentrated even for a second. This is, the first one. The other example they usually give is the example of a, waterfall. Waterfall is very rough. Sometimes in the meditation book, it is in the meditation book, it says that when we first meditate and you sit down, you feel like you are having so many thoughts more than usual. It says that that's actually a good sign. And it's not true that you are having more distraction than usual. You are pretty much having the usual thoughts. The reason you felt that is because you noticed it. Let's say there's a guy on the highway somewhere. In India, you find a lot, stall, tea stall. Traffic is usual, as usual. But one day it starts, paying attention. It starts counting one car, two cars. It's like, wow, today there's so many cars. It's a usual traffic. Exactly the same. But because that day he decided to, really pay attention, he noticed that. So it's not a bad sign, actually. There will be more and more, let's say, some other example will come about, but I will, as it comes along, then I will explain you. So, uh, so that means meditation actually is working, but the only thing is that I'm not yet able to, really stay in the meditation for any duration, amount of duration, so to speak. That's what it meant, focusing. But we do need to do that to train ourselves. Okay, so the first stage. Today we'll do 4, and then tomorrow we'll do the rest of them. I need to look at the English. I know it in Tibetan, but the English version, I have to look because, oops. Now, the second stage, there is an improvement. It's called focusing continuously. Jun. According to Tibetan, it actually, now, since I have been training myself in meditation, then now the second step, what happens is that because you are familiarizing yourself, right? Yes? Then you do get familiarized. So if you got familiarized, then now in this moment, like it says that there you will have meditation experience, and therefore now from the two kinds of quality, the concentration and clarity. Here this is more about the concentration. And you are also able to sit or remain without being distracted in that meditation for a bit longer than before. So this is what it meant here. It says that perhaps you can remain in that meditation for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes without at all being distracted. So you do not lose the object of your meditation. This is other way of saying that. You don't lose the object of meditation even for a second, for 10 minutes or 15 minutes, something like that. So you see the improvement actually comes about. Okay. Now, the first stage is born in you because of, you know, the because of learning. Learning. All right. I should say there are what we call as 6 folds, meaning there are these 6 causes for these 9 stages of meditation. So the cause for the first stage actually is hearing of the meditation instruction. That's the cause, I'm sorry. The second stage is caused by the force or power of reflection. so to speak, reflection, just for the sake of knowing that again. All right. So now the third one, the third meditation. Subtlety, okay, I will explain later on. Subtlety, actually, it's in the subtlety, as you can see in the subtlety. uh, Third one is immediately bringing back the focus, correct? um, at this moment, then uh, one is not only able to stay in meditation, but as soon as you lose your object of meditation, right away with the power of awareness, you are able to recognize that. And then you are able to bring back your object of meditation in that very second, so to speak. This is what it meant here. uh, Here, like third and the fourth, correct? Third and the fourth both are, are brought about by actual mindfulness. So this is why here in this, so once when you get to this level, then the duration of the meditation, okay, there are few things. First, the ability to remain in meditation is prolonged, prolonged, and prolonged. So your concentration is all intact. At the same time, the quality of the clarity actually improves. In the very beginning, the quality of the clarity is not as good. There is clarity, but it's not as good. In Tibetan, we have words, but never mind that. So the at this point, the concentration is really good, and the ability to really sit in meditation for hours and hours. Some say even for like half of a day, you can really see remain in that, really, really focused. You don't lose your object of meditation. You don't feel hungry or thirst. That's actually true. If you really experience meditation, yes, you forget about that. I guess when you wake up from that, you may be really, really very hungry, yeah, thirsty, totally dehydrated. Uh, yes. So, anyways, it's from the subtlety point of view. Basically, it's like a thread, but the subtlety is there, where the subtlety, as you can see, that these two obstacles, the excitement, the gross excitement, the gross mental thinking, is still there. But somehow these grows are fading, slowly they're fading, and it still grows, but they're fading and fading and fading. The more they fade away, the more clarity you see, the more concentration you see. It's actually named after this 1, 2, 3, 4. It doesn't have to be 1, 2, 3, 4. And now you can see that it's just a meditation experience. So in reality, to say number 1, number 2, number 3, maybe not so very, accurate. But yes, for us to have some sense of how meditation is born, how it's experienced, how it's developed, then it gives you a clear picture. Otherwise, then the numbers really, numbers are not that relevant. 1, 2, 3, 4, not that relevant. I need to keep it short. All right? So now the number, it's just the definition I'm guessing. I'm giving you. um, Fourth one, progressing by focusing closely. Correct. So, uh, from what I understand, from there are 6 antidotes or 6 force. The first one was uh, hearing of the instructions. Second one was, the reflecting. Third is mindfulness. So the mindfulness brings about third and fourth. Okay, the mindfulness. Now here, like I was saying, there are this, when we talk about the, mental thinking, mental excitement, there is the gross and the subtle. At this point of time, then all of this gross mental thinking, excitement really are absolutely overcome. Okay, overcome at this one when you reach to this. And because of now, all you have left is really to work with the subtle obscurations, let's say the subtle obscuration, the subtle, obstructions, mental obstructions is still there. But the growth, so now imagine you don't have that at all. And the experience of meditation, okay, in this case, now the clarity, concentration has always been there. And of course, you do not lose the object of, from this forward onwards, there is no losing of the object of the meditation. But one still will experience this very underlying, most subtle layer of the obscurations. These two obscurations still are there, lingering somewhere in there. That's why now you really need very high force of awareness, actually. It will come up. Meaning here, the clarity is excellent, concentration is first rate, so to speak, from the meditation point of view. But still, there's a lot to go because we still have the remaining left. So this, which we will actually cover up, tomorrow or day after tomorrow. Okay, so, oh, no, I was going to say dedication. No, actually, go through the book. All right, now let's, so fourth one, correct? Okay, fourth one. There was something I wanted to share. When I have time, I read books and then it clicks to me, then I write actually. So I have so many notes in my book in these things. So I sometimes, it's really like, so therefore I have hard time in finding them. It clicks something to me and then I delete also. Many a time I just delete them. I write it and then I delete it. And then sometimes I regret that because I'm like, why did I do that? It's just habit. Because, and then I find out, oh, I really need that because I forgot what I wrote. And then I just delete that. I do have a habit of writing. I do write. I'm not a good writer, but I just like it. I just like to say out loud my own thoughts. I wrote this, and then in Virginia, they created a song, right? How many are there? 6, 5. It's like my crazy thoughts. I thought something, and here and there I wrote notes. And my friends in Virginia, and he looked at this, and then we have many, people. I mean, you guys are really good in music and guitar and all that, so we have a band, right? So they decided to play that, but they do play many other songs, like Country Road, Take Me Home is our national song because of Shamrumche. When I first got in, Shamrumche brought me there forcefully, so to speak. I didn't want to go at all to the US. And it's a long story. And then, so I was in California, then Rinpoche called me out, said, okay, Khenpo, come to Virginia. So I went there. It's really remote. And Rinpoche, in the morning, we had breakfast and we sat down. We both sat down on the ground. I was sitting, and Rinpoche came and sat next to me and said, oh, Khenpo, if you get bored, and then you sing this song. I said, usually Rinpoche and I, we sing Hindi songs, Bollywood songs. He loves Bollywood songs. And I love it too. I don't have very good voice at all, but I sing very shamelessly. So Rinpoche even, because he likes it so much, all these other Americans with their accent, they know some words. Anyway, so coming back to that. So we sat down, and Rinpoche said, oh, Khenpo, you may get bored. If you got bored, sing this song. So I think some Bollywood songs. And no, he says, sing this song. Country road, take me home. I'm like, what is that? I thought, oh, Khenpo, this is a very famous song. So because Rinpoche sang that, and then we all sing this. Anyway, it's a story. So I wrote these things on Madhyamika, on something, I don't really even remember. But when they sing it with all this music instrument, it actually sounds quite cool. I forgot that I wrote it. When I heard it, like, oh, it kind of sounds cool, so to say. Yeah, just some stories. My own Doha songs, Khenpo's on Doha songs. If you want that, you have to go all the way to Virginia. I am a little Saraha, little Telopa. I'm saying this very shameless. No, I'm not at all. Yes, you have to excuse me. Crazy thoughts. Anyways, so, okay, now see. Yep. It's my notes. I was looking for what? Yes. But really what? Oh, yeah, okay. Right here. Found it, thank you. Actually, it's sort of outlined for this one. But okay, now I got it. I think it's okay. I should be more spontaneous, actually. All right? Right. So we finished 12, so we're going to read from 13. Okay? We did finish 12, correct? Yes. I'm sorry? Oh, okay. 11. Wow, I'm skipping, huh? Shendu kuntal tala minena deni chunamale tongwanjur. That's okay. Free from all desires, if we do not abide in extremes, we shall see all teachings of the three Pitakas. Okay, do you think you can do that? Two things we need to do in order to have the realization. First, Shendu Kuntal, that means free from all desires. Yes, there's this one, he says, we need to go beyond all the boundaries of existence, all the boundaries of extremes, actually, all the extremes. For example, we may have, first of all, our boundary is that everything exists, everything's there, and then we say everything's emptiness. Then it becomes okay, so things are not there, but there's emptiness. We always tend to fall in some kind of extreme, So here, and that extreme is a state of a mind because of the attachment. A Heart Sutra, for example, is good. I think it's a very good example. Let's say I have attachment to the form, for example. This is something I'm saying in a very casual way. Okay, so for me to really not have attachment to the physical world, to the physical body. So then I say form is emptiness, form is emptiness, form is emptiness, form is emptiness, form is emptiness. Let's say that helps me to some extent to reduce my attachment to the physical world, to the material world. As an example, okay, the sound may not help, but the realization will help. From my thinking point of view, you need to say things out loud sometimes. These lines like, usually form is emptiness, emptiness is form, correct? So now I'm sticking to what? To the first line. Form is emptiness. Because my problem right now is not emptiness, correct? What is my problem? My problem is my attachment to the physical world, to the physical body. So therefore, I need to understand that they are emptiness. So then I say this line, oh, you do not need to attach to the form because form is emptiness, as an example. So when I say form is emptiness, it's my process of meditation. You can say it out loud, or you can say it in your head, or you do not need to say it, just really feel it, sit and see, okay, form is emptiness, or form is emptiness, or any other thing. Now let's say someone gets to the real point of emptiness. Now it is actually reversed. Now here you have a sense of attachment to the realization of the emptiness. So this is when you say, emptiness is form. So you switch that actually. Emptiness is form. Because I'm so extreme, in my thought, in my mind, I go so extreme, then I go to the extreme of the emptiness. We need to go beyond the emptiness and existence, right? Beyond the form, beyond the emptiness. First, I'm into the emptiness, and I am stuck in the fixation of the form. So I do that away by knowing form is emptiness. So all my fixations, grasping regarding the physical world is gone, as an example. And now I develop this another fixation of the emptiness. It's not really going to be exactly like, the fixation to the form, but rather it's very subtle, deep down inside. You still feel it, some sense. So now, in order to do that, what do you think you need? You need something that, to relieve that. So that is when we say, form, emptiness is form. We're not saying emptiness is body, actually. It's emptiness is form. Now let's say, form is into emptiness form. Zug tongpa wo, tongpa ni zug le tongpa ni shemayi. Yes, zug le tongpa ni shemayi. There is no emptiness besides the form. So in this case, then, here, Tilopa actually saying that when we sit in this meditation, okay, again, we have to bear in mind, we are really talking from the point of view of Mahamudra realization. So this is like the mind of Tilopa, mind of Naropa. So we need to, first of all, forget all of our mundane fixations. Because with our mundane thought, mundane fixation, if you try to understand emptiness, how are you going to do that actually? Correct? Okay. So we really try. Let's say, okay, just forget about everything that I think is wrong. That's actually absolutely wrong. We always end up in some kind of extremes. So therefore, like it was said yesterday, remember, in your meditation, how do you stay in meditation? You stay in meditation in a very natural way. You do not grasp, you do not meditate, you do not bring any fixation whatsoever. You just stay in this state of a mind of non-conceptualization, discriminating wisdom. Never mind. And yes, that's it actually. Then he said, Denishun. I like this, the last one where he says, then, uh, one sec. Okay, we shall see the teacher. Yesterday, remember I told this story of Narupa that, when he told to this, it turned out it was Dakini that he know the meaning of these Pitaka, these books, in the word meaning, and she was very happy. And then when he says, oh, I know also the meaning, then she says, no, that's not true. So actually from that point of view, here when he says that you will gain the realization of all the teachings, when he says Pitaka, it actually means that you will understand the, what Buddha is trying to teach us. All he was trying to teach us was what is actually our mind. That's it. But for that, he had to teach for 45 years. And then all this, thousands and thousands of the books is written on that, just to tell us what is your mind or nature of the mind. And still we don't get it with all these books, around us. So this part here, it says that, it basically means when you see through this meditation your own state of the mind, the Mahamudra state of the mind, this is then when you have truly understood what Buddha was teaching or what Tilopa was teaching. The meaning of every single, let's say, teaching is understood in that very moment, correct? Not before that. So we have to make sure that we don't get too caught up, in words, actually. It's a little bit difficult. So two things. One, we do need that. We do need to learn. We do need to reflect. We do need books. We do need teachers, of course. Those are very important. So we, of course, have them. Okay? So we try to extract as much as we can individually, you, all of us. We try to absorb. Then now is the time when you really analyze in your mind, in your meditation, in your thoughts. This is when you actually really try to understand them better. Analyze meaning you try to understand them better. The more and more you focus on that, the deeper and the deeper it gets. The deeper and deeper it gets. This is the true sense of meditation. There is no other meditation, correct? That's called meditation. This process, this, improvement, this, development that you experience regarding your own insight into your own insight or into your own knowledge, let's say. So we have knowledge, we have wisdom, and now you are meditating on that. Let's say you are, analyzing that by trying to understand that better and more in depth, better, more in depth. And that is going to happen, 100% going to happen. This process called learning, reflecting, meditating. That's what it meant. So you want to look into your heart. And then meaning look into your heart for those precious wisdoms in your mind, those precious. It's somewhere in there. Along with all this other stuff, it's somewhere in there. That's what we need to touch. That's what we need to preserve and develop and improve, correct? We have the samsaric part and we have the nirvana part, let's put it this way. So here in our meditation, meaning let's say the meaning of meditation is looking into your own mind. So you're looking into your own accumulated knowledge, wisdom, realization, experience of the Dharma teachings. Correct? Dharma teaching. You have that. We all have that. So that's why when you go to retreat, then it should be all about that, really. All about it. Okay, so you don't have to meditate closed eyes all day long when you are in this retreat. You can see that you have your coffee, nice coffee, but at the same time you have this book that you're reading. You can, while having coffee, you can also have realization. You can also have a lot of meditation experience. Correct? So that those kind of things. You read, you reflect, you do prostration, you do mandala. Just integrate all of them. While doing mandala, you think of mind. While doing prostration, you think of mind. When I say mind, you mean everything. You think of renunciation. You think of bodhicitta. You think of view. Correct? How can you, who says you can think? It's not about just going crazy, I mean, that is not, yes, there is benefit, but then it's actually a little bit, it become more, perhaps that's when we must learn to integrate meditation in every action that we perform, correct, from the Mondo point of view. Okay? People think these are all separate, actually not. So in that regard, in my meditation, also, when you are in the state of this meditation, you also have the glimpse of renunciation, bodhicitta view all together, all the time. This is what we are trying to know, trying to notice, recognize is a better word, recognize, and then really hold on to that. This is what you want to hold on to. And use those as a way of living. Correct? Really, that's what we have to use as a way of living. Like I'm saying, should not think the path is different, your life is different. When you know how to integrate the path, the Dharma into your life will improve, just like that. Why we don't do that? It's not like you have to always go, only when you're in retreat, that's only when you're allowed to do those things. And it's as if you're not allowed to do this while you are during the rest of the time. No. Every moment, every second, whenever, wherever, however it comes to you, you must enjoy that. You must really, really try to get absorbed into that. Try to absorb that. That's how it grows in us. It's not going to be one fine day sort of thing. That one fine day you wake up and then boom, No, actually. We must know those things too, right? You want to ask something? Go ahead. Yeah, it's same. Yep, that's how I said it, but it's same thing. Yeah, the 4 lines. Emptiness is none other than emptiness. Form is none other than emptiness. Emptiness is none other than form. All good. No confusion there. Yeah, it's same. Okey-doke. Let's move forward. So, Okay, next year we'll do the Heart Sutra then. Okay, please come again. So we will do the Heart Sutra. Whatever other sutras are there, it's a good, actually quite a good idea actually. It goes with Mahamudra. So sometimes that can be a little bit heavy, so I don't know, to people. So let's see. All right. So now moving on. Number 12, Tashidele. Now we are going to 13th. Tuender jolna korwe tuenle tar, tuender nyamja diktip tamche sek. This is benefit actually. Tempe deme sheso shepa yin. Okay, first these 3 lines. I'll read in English too. If we mount this meaning if Mahamudra, okay, meditation, if we practice the Mahamudra meditation, that's what he's saying, we will be liberated from samsara, no doubt. Okay, here I want to stress, I've been saying this a lot, but I want to again remind you, when it says that once when you practice Mahamudra meditation or meditation, that meditation here is what actually? That meditation here is the pragjana, okay? Vidya. In Tibetan we have sherap, rikpa. Rikpa is vidya. So let's stick to the sherap. The pragjana paramita, correct? Transcendental wisdom. That. Why it's called transcendental wisdom? Because it has transcended all the mundane fixations. So we had, through the meditation of emptiness, let's put it this way, through going through vipassana meditation, first of course shine, then vipassana. When we go through vipassana meditation, the vipassana itself is actually pragyana, that transcendental wisdom. As you can see that bodhisattvas, they have overcome the notion of existence of self. Then because of that, they overcome all the kleshas, emotions, everything, every single thing. That's how their mind is gone beyond samsaric mind. It's replaced, we could say, or the wisdom has absolutely defeated the ignorance, and everything that ignorance brought about has been defeated to the root. So no longer ignorance, no longer false view in them at all. So the right view is born in them, the highest view. Okay? That highest view is what it meant here. Once when you gain that highest view, in that very moment, in that very second, one absolutely, go beyond samsara, correct? That's the actual state of the wisdom, you say that. So, so I want you to know that when it says, Mahamudra, it's not, it refers to that wisdom. Now the second line, okay, one more thing I want to say here. I've been saying this, but again I'm saying it. The root cause for all of our suffering, actually all of the experience that we go through in this world, in this universe, whether it is good, pleasant, unpleasant, normal, all of these mentalities, these are all, produced by our confusion. In turn, it is produced by ignorance. In turn, it's produced by misconception. Therefore, everything we experience is false. whether it is good, whether it is bad. Like it says yesterday in the song, right? Happiness, oh, that's, I wrote that actually, but not because I remember this. uh, Happiness really is illusion. At the same time, sadness is an illusion, correct? It's false. Illusion means false. And then the illusion itself is an illusion. I'm not just saying because it sounds good, but that actually is the reality from that point of view. Okay, first let's say you look into what is that, pain or suffering. You do find that it's just a misconception, a false. Happiness, I, me, you, this, that, friend, enemy, samsara, nirvana. All 100% fabricated by mind, correct? Is a fabrication, fabricated by our confusion, which is produced, which is born from the ignorance, which is born from that misconception. So now here, in this very moment, when we, let's say, do the learning, reflecting, meditating, what is taking place in your heart? Wisdom. Correct? Wisdom is taking place in your heart. As wisdom starts taking place in our heart, these things that are there, the misconception, the ignorance, the confusion, the whole wrong view, gradually cannot stand the wisdom. They never can withstand the wisdom. It's like sun cannot withstand the darkness. Darkness it's opposite, sorry. Darkness really cannot withstand the sunlight. So sunlight is like that wisdom. You see what I'm saying? Really, and in everyday life, we need to really look out for that awakening, look out for that wisdom in you. It helps you to such a great deal just in that very moment. You may not be completely over with it, like samsara wise, but yes. In every step of life, there is no moment when we do not need wisdom or knowledge. I'm not talking about the mundane wisdom knowledge, but this inner wisdom, this inner insight regarding the reality of samsara, mind, universe, sentient being. That is what I'm talking about. Saying the same thing here. So yes, and then in the second line, like it says, which one I'm reading? Oh, this one. Absorbed in it, meaning in your meditation or when you are in the state of this vipassana, the Mahamudra state of the mind, that wisdom, that transcendental wisdom, when you are in there, the other thing that happens, all harm, obscuration will be burned. This is very beautiful. From the most powerful tool to overcome our obscuration of karma, negative karma here, like it says negative karma. The most, heavy negative karma, like, the 5 of them: killing father, killing mother, killing an arhat, splitting of the sanghas. But this splitting of the sangha is, has to happen in the presence of the Buddha, so it can actually not happen now. And then destroying the image of Buddha out of most heavy karma that cannot be easily washed away. Here he's saying that there are 2 things. Here, of course, emptiness. When this wisdom, however dark may be that cave, but when you light a candle, it goes away. I really like this. Okay, I have to come back to that later. It's something in my head I'm saying, so I'm sorry, maybe you don't get it. Again, I said that. So now, yes. Likewise, when my mind is very dark from the point of view that it's, it's really is filled with confusion, ignorance, all the negativities of the emotion. So therefore, let's say it's like that dark room. And then when you light that candle, it's gone, correct? Like this. When emptiness is born in you, in that very moment, all these mental fabrications of all kind transcend, burnt in that very moment, actually. In other words, to simplify, we have Dorjisempa, it's very powerful. It's Dorjisempa, right? Vajrasattva. Dorjisempa, then karma, negative karma, yes. But do they uproot the, stains of the obscurations from where all this is born? They don't, actually. So what can burn that is either bodhicitta, it's actually relative bodhicitta and ultimate bodhicitta. Here the Mahamudra is from the ultimate bodhicitta point of view. In Shantideva's book, if many of you may have, the first chapter, he says that there is no stronger antidote for negative karma than, than bodhicitta. He's referring to the relative bodhicitta. He says relative bodhicitta is like the fire in the end of the world. Somehow there is this concept, even in Abhidharma Kosh, that someday the world will come to an end. But this is too long to tell story, but I'm just saying there will be there will be no one to be burned from the sentient being's point of view. This universe will be empty for millions of years without any being in it. And then one very fine day, it's just saying, then one son, two sons, three sons. It's from Abhidharma point of view, but I think it's really spoken, to help common people have some idea. Anyway, we do say that. That fire has the ability to not only burn the whole universe, even the ashes will be burnt. There will be no sign of dust even at all. It clears out everything spotless. It's like that. He says this bodhicitta is like this. The bodhicitta, when bodhi is born in you, spotless. Your mind is spotless. But unfortunately, in the very next moment, another spot, doom. It's very sad, I cleaned it up, spotless. And then in the very subsequent moment, tick is another spot. How long we are going to do that, So just better really destroy that ground where it lands. That's ego. So then you have emptiness. There is it can never land. None of them can land. Oh, it's okay, anyways. Well, we got time. Third sentence. This is very straight. We are. Actually, he says, we are said to be the lamp of the teacher. I don't think so. Yeah, so, and that's not we are, actually, it's absolute. It means these two. All right. It's a torch of Buddha Dharma. It's just saying that, Buddha Dharma is like a torch, correct? A torch that eliminates all the darkness. So that torch of the Buddha nature mind is none other than the realization of the Mahamudra. That's actually, it's not we. I don't know why it's said this way actually. That because we already spoke about this, these two qualities. So Buddha Dharma is none other than your own inner realization, the relative bodhicitta and the ultimate bodhicitta. And from the Mahamudra point of view, it is the Mahamudra state of the mind. There's no other, in short, wisdom, correct? The transcendental wisdom. In our Kagyu lineage, meaning in Mahamudra of the Kagyu lineage, we have names like Nyugmi Sem. It actually means naturally abiding state of mind. So naturally abiding state of mind that has never ever been stained at all. That is the torch of Dharma. Chöchi Döme, torch of Dharma. It's a good name actually. So I'm going to take refuge again with Kamapa this afternoon, and I will give that to him. So I'm taking this because I want this name from you, Torch of Dharma. I'm kidding. Of course, I'm kidding. I won't dare to do that. It's all name, just a name. Don't hang on to that, Khenpo. I'm saying to myself, you are all delusional. All right, so moving forward. Oh, okay, I need to read more, I guess. Oh, I have to read the Tibetan word, right? Thunder mimo kiwo lombo nam korwe. Oh, okay, thank you. Thunder mimo kiwo lombo na korwe cho tado chewase. Ngeson tonga mezo lombo nyingreji me se tarnde lama kela ten chin lam nyingla cho narang se to waengyur. Pretty straightforward. Silly beings, uninterested in this meaning not interested in Dharma or the path, are always carried away by the river of samsara and finished. Okay, what is finished here? Okay, it doesn't matter. This guy, whoever translated it, he's carried away by the whatever. So you don't mind they finished away. Then, how pitiful, silly beings suffering unbearably in the worst realms. If we are unable to bear it, want liberation, rely upon a skillful guru. And their blessings enter our heart, our mind will be liberated. Okay, it's very short, but this is again, like I was saying, in my understanding, a little bit earlier on I was saying that how in one spot you experience renunciation, bodhicitta, view. It's actually exactly what's happening here, as you can see it. Like when Buddhas and Bodhisattvas look at us and they wonder what happened to them. Really. By observing our situation, all they can feel is correct, infinite, unconditional. A love, a kindness that has no boundary at all. This, you feel it when you see the reality of sentient beings' mind. Like we are so stuck in samsara, we are so carried away by our mundane thoughts, and then we ourselves really bind ourselves into this thickness of the samsara, So we bring upon ourselves all these problems in reality, nobody else. And yet we blame the universe for that, So that is, the level of the confusion we have. That's why he's saying that how pity in the sense like You remember this story? I don't know if it's a very real one, but about Chinese that he, at one point of time, he liberated every one of them. Oh, in the three lower realm, he decided, I'm going to liberate everyone. It's a story we tell, right? He did it, closed his eyes, he was so happy. He opened his eye, it was full again. In a blink of an eye, it was full. They're like, oh, what happened? Okay, never mind. I can do it again, 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 again. That's when he gave up, the story we actually tell. For a moment, split of a second, oh, I can't do it. As soon as he thought I can't do it, in thousand. I shouldn't tell the whole story, but you have to figure it out. So we have 1,000, what is that? 1,000, yeah, 1,000, let's say, scalps or head and eye and hands, But it's a good story to tell. Chinese may not be that way, but so but I told it because, because of this compassion, this bodhicitta. In the bodhicitta, we know this example-wise, correct? It's been really long, so I may be wrong. So you please correct me. So there's, like we say, bodhicitta, metaphor-wise, there is this bodhicitta like a captain. Bodhicitta like one that's like captain, one that's like shepherd, and then boatsman. Thank you. Right. So now I guess you all know. So here, our Lokeshwara, our Lokeshwara, Chinese, he, when he generated bodhicitta, is like a shepherd. He decided that he will first bring everyone to the enlightenment, and then he's gonna, then he's never gonna come back because he was Buddha already. So then I'm never gonna come back in this world. That is the power of the bodhicitta, so to speak. There are different kinds of bodhicitta. Our Buddha same actually. Nobody wanted to come in this kalpa, correct? From the 1,000 Buddhas. And Shakyamuni was, I am going to go there during this most horrible time. We call it Kali Yuga, this degeneration time. I'm going to go there. I want to go during that time. Maybe he was a little bit cuckoo. Among the Buddha, there are also some who are a little bit cuckoo. Oh, I really shouldn't say that. Oh, mani pe me ho. See, okay. So anyway, so yes, the bodhicitta part. It come up Michu Dorje. In his book, he was very playful. He come up very, very learned, and he's very playful, joyful. So he playfully says a lot of things to other great scholars. Intentionally, nothing, of course, just words, playful. At one point of time, his tongue got swollen. He couldn't speak for one whole week. In the life of Karmapa, he says, because he spoke silly things, just as a fun, it got swollen. Hopefully tomorrow I can talk. If not, then you know what happened. So you all want to, when it comes to saying things to these great beings, best. No unnecessary pain or karma. Okay, it's me being silly, I'm sorry. All right, so, oh no, so then this one. The last two is very important, as you can see that. It says that if you are unable to bear it, one liberation rely upon skillful guru, and their blessings enter our heart, our mind will be liberated. Yes, it is really true that we do really need, spiritual master. So it goes, both ways, so to speak, more than both ways. I also must have the best of the quality to be the vessel, to be able to integrate the Dharma, to be able to understand the Dharma, to really be able to fulfill the wishes of the teacher. Let's see, all the karmapas, telopas. I also need that quality, and with that quality, one of the qualities is the trust, as you all know, it's very trust. And when you have that trust, then there is no doubt that the blessings of the Lama, and that blessing would be really the realization, every single realization they have. In Tibetan, we say the word is pouring the nectar, into you, and you are the vessel. For example, when first time when Milarepa met Marpa, he didn't know who was Marpa. So he did see Marpa, but he didn't know. So he asked Marpa, do you know who's Marpa, correct? And he was working in the field. Marpa says, maybe I know, but first you need to help me. And then when you're done, come to me, then I'll tell you where he is. He's okay. So he meet Milarepa, and then he gives him this pot filled with chang, let's say wine, okay? Drink this. When you're done, come to me. He does this, and he drinks it. He drinks it so that there is not even one drop left in it. And he plowed everything. This was a very good auspicious signs, actually. And later on in the life story, Marpa says that when he drank this, and when he didn't leave even one drop, Marpa knew that I can pour all my realization without remaining into the heart of the Milarepa, just like that. So something like that. So then the Lamichin love, the blessing of the Lama, everything will come to us. And then the realization will come about. Like I was saying earlier on, really the harmony, Tamsik is all about harmony. This harmony between teacher and student, between sanghas, practitioners, plays so very important role among ourselves, really, really very important role. Need to be so very, very careful. Many of these, Mahasiddha says that we really, really want to be so very mindful of this word called tamsik. If something goes wrong there, the whole path is destroyed. The whole community is destroyed. And it's true. If you look at our own lineage, so be careful. Like I was saying the other day, yes, we need Lama, we need teachings, but also it's important to keep a distance, really, because I'm an ordinary person. So therefore, I will make mistakes. I'll do something out of silliness that will stain the bond, that will interrupt the realization, the understanding. It may get worse and worse, So then it will altogether close the door, actually, of the blessing of the realization. We don't want to do that. Just really, always respect, have devotion, have trust to the Lama, listen to the Lama, but from far away. It can always be in your heart. Physically, there is no need for us to be close to it all the time at all. It's actually better not to do that. Once in a while, we intervene, we say you see his face, you hear his or her voice. Yes. Once in a while, yes. But if you did this, anyway, so yeah. Okay, look. Whoops. I'm gonna do one more, okay? It's 11, so 10 minutes is okay, I guess. Because your lunch is at 11:30, am I right? At 11:30. So you have time, we have time actually. So we'll finish this 14th. We still have 2 more days. Okay. I finished the 13th, correct? Both English and Tibetan. Okay. I think I did. Ke ho korwe chunde tume dungal ju chebe chula nyingpo mebe tunde nyingpo te songzin kunde ta song. Okay, first that one actually, these 2 lines, because these last 4 lines are different. Ke ho. These samsaric things are the cause of meaningless suffering. It's very nice, actually, straightforward. Since fabricated things lack essence, look at the essential meaning. Very good. That means Dharma. Well, this is straightforward, so I'm going to just leave it at that. Zongzin kunde tawe gyalpo yin, yingwa mena gombe gyalpo yin, chazol mena kyobe gyalpo yin, redo mena diwu, wantan jor. Right. Beyond all subject-object duality is the king of the views. If we have no distraction, it is the king of the meditation. If we exert no effort, that means effortless, it is the king of the action, activity. This exertion in terms of, like Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, do not have preconceived ideas at all. You know that, right? Buddhas do not sit and think, oh, today I have to, travel here, tomorrow I have to travel there. Not that. Everything happens really, really without any preconceived ideas at all. Their activity appears to us very, naturally, without any preconceived ideas at all, due to the accomplishment of their malam, aspirations, and of course, the dedication. I'm going to explain a little bit, but I just wanted to say that. So, if we lack hope and fear, the fruit will manifest. This is very Milarepa, Marpa, Gambupa, all of them actually sing this. Here we're talking about 4 things, right? View, meditation, conduct, and fruit. Tawa, Gompa, Chepa, Divu. From the ultimate point of view. So this is right. Ultimate view, like he says here, Zungzi Kunde. Very beautiful. When one is in the meditative absorption of the Mahamudra, what do you think is that state? That state of the wisdom is beyond fixation. Absolutely no fixation of subject and object. So that means there is no dualistic clinging of subject and object, correct? That is called the king of the view. Okay. We stick to that. Then, and then when it comes to the meditation, yes, meditation is what? Meditation is a state of a mind where no distraction occurs whatsoever. This is what I say, Yangwa Mena. if you notice that in the Dorje Changtongma, exactly same line actually. We have the same line. This meaning in meditation, when you don't experience any mundane thoughts of dualistic experiences, that is then the meditation, so to speak, right? Meditation. So in short, meditation is a state of mind that is, that do not engage in any, mental activities at all. The mundane mental activities of dualism. It needs to be connected to the view. It's not different, actually, okay? In your meditation, what are you experiencing? The view. So how can meditation be different from the view? Right? That's why it's actually similar. Then conduct. If we exert no effort, it is the king of action. Two ways of understanding this, like the way it says here. In this case, this is actually regarding the meditation. So the meditation of the advanced Mahasiddhas and Bodhisattvas are effortless, absolutely effort. They enter the meditation effortlessly. They come out of the meditation effortlessly, meaning spontaneously. No actions, no effort is required at all. That's one way of understanding that. The other way of understanding the Chöpa part, the conduct part, is actually it is about maintaining the view and the meditation. That's how you maintain the view and the meditation, correct? It's actually about that. And then the result, like it says here, is true. Bodhisattvas, and Mahasiddhas, when they do something for sentient beings, it's not like they're doing a favor to us, actually. So in our world, we have this favor thing, favoritism, I guess we can call that, where, so that means in return, you need to do something for that other person, so to speak. So in this case, this is about actually when we define bodhicitta, compassion, this is what it meant. Well, okay. There are actually days and times when we do something out of the goodness of our heart without any expectations, correct? Is what actually saying. Bodhisattvas, Buddhas, everything they do is do without any expectation in return. They do not want anything in return. They just want to help. They just want to really, really benefit others. That's it. There's no this expectation of any kind of favor in return for that. Something we need to also learn, right? That means individual. It's an advice too, actually, when it comes to the, when it comes to our own meditation. Let's say compassion and kindness. We, common people, we do really have also, this compassion, this kindness that is also free of any expectations too, right? So I guess we need to keep up with that actually, and maybe we want to, spread, we want to improve, spread, we want to enhance, I guess, that quality within us more and more and more and more. Increase, okay, these are all same. Okay, so, all right, so now we will stop here for today, then say the dedication. Svenam dia tam che zikpa nye to na ye nye pe da na pam che. Che ga ye na che ba la ye tu pa ye se pe an so le do wa re sho. Ge wa di ye ge wo ye ke svenam ye she cho cho. Svenam ye she le chung wa tam ba ku nye to pa re sho. Minjura lombo kuya tashi sho yen la tukjo songye tashi tada teme tukje tashi sho gyalvya ko song tukje tashi sho. Thank you, everyone. Have a very nice lunch. Fill your tummy up.